Matt, a lot of options here when we're talking about paying up for a hitter. So give me a dude who's going to cost you $5K or more.
So I think the position we have to start with is shortstop. And even though Fernando Tatis Jr. is playing in the outfield right now, he's still shortstop only eligible for DFS. He's 6,100, and I feel like he takes up a lot of the ownership at this position. And then you have Jake Cronenworth at 4,400 on the same team, who also is just shortstop only. So I think Trevor Story has to go overlooked because the Padres, who are in this great spot against Antonio Senzatella at Coors Field, have two shortstops in their lineup, and Trevor Story on the other side of this game might only end up being the third or fourth highest owned shortstop on the slate. He might be single-digit ownership. I think that's a pretty reasonable scenario. And he's facing Ryan Weathers, who isn't any good in the games at Coors Field. So I think Story for 5,400 is a really good choice. I think Trey Turner, same price range, is a really good choice. But basically, at the high end of the salary range, I'm looking to find some leverage at the shortstop position. I think Story and maybe Turner are the two guys I like the most.
Eric, I say give me a hitter over 5K, and you say?
I say Ozzie Albies at 5,200. Anytime you can get Albies against a lefty, it's hard to turn that down. Over the course of his career, he's got a 150 WRC plus against lefties. That's the same as Aaron Judge's career mark. Granted, they get there in slightly different ways, but just to give you an idea of how good he is against southpaws. Then against righties, he's got a career WRC plus of just 96, which is the same as Kevin Kiermaier's career numbers. So when you can get a guy who's Aaron Judge sometimes and Kevin Kiermaier the rest of the time, I think you got to jump on him. Against a guy like Braxton Garrett, who's been okay, 4.65 ERA. The peripherals look a little bit better than that, but he doesn't stand out at all in any one area. And Albies has hitting quite well lately with 5 homers in his last 7 games. So I think this is a perfect opportunity to use him, and I don't think 5,200 is too expensive at all.
Paul, which direction you going in here?
Emerson, you know I come from the school of what have you done for me lately? I've got 3 guys for you. I like Starling Marte for $5,900 based on his platoon advantage that he'll enjoy against Dallas Keuchel. I panned him earlier. For his part, Marte has been on an 18 for 48 tear. That's good for a 375 batting average. And head-to-head in a very small sample, Marte has the edge over Keuchel with a 3 for 6 mark, including a home run. I also like Brandon Lowe for $5,300 with his current 12 for 39 streak, which includes 6 extra base knocks. And he'll have a platoon advantage against Matt Harvey, who has reverted to his mediocre form over his last 2 starts after showing brief signs of life. You know I tell it like it is. There's very little left in that guy's tank.
That's
Joey
right.
Votto, the Canadian, has been killing it over his last 10 starts with a 1.112 OPS over his last 37 at-bats, including 4 homers. Among his last 12 hits, he faces Steele, and I also shared his recent struggles with you earlier. Votto cost you $5,800 tonight.